It says the early morning of the 26th of November, 2025. For you folks that have been tuned into me for countless years, you know that I have 3 daughters and 1 son. For those fathers out there that had daughters, have you ever thought of having sex with your daughter? Because, I never have. Put up by Jesse Dollemore. Donald Trump talked about what it might be like to have sex with his daughter, Ivanka. You tell me this guy's not screwed up in the head, huh? So listen to this. It plays for 11 minutes.
This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. For how long have we known Donald Trump is a creeper, is a gross, vile abuser of women? I gotta really watch my language here with YouTube because they love to demonetize and then squelch the distribution of certain topics. A new book is being written by Miles Taylor, the man who wrote the op-ed penned by Anonymous, where he called out the wrongdoings of the Trump administration and reassured America there was a section of the administration that was there to buttress Donald Trump and his dangerous policies, but to be a wall to try to protect America. He still chose to work for Trump. He still chose to work within the fascist administration. So, yeah, I'm only going to give him so much credit. But he's writing a book right now. And in it, and this is an exclusive from Newsweek with him, Trump made shocking comments about Ivanka, says ex-staffer. Now, look, a lot of people are going to say, well, we already know this. We know. And we do know. We have known for years that Donald Trump has a sexual affinity for his daughter. And after I read a little bit from this, I'm going to play some clips that we've seen, maybe hundreds of times maybe, of Donald Trump being wildly inappropriate and sexual about his own daughter. For all of the talk in conservative circles about groomers and about save the children and sexual impropriety surrounding kids, the Republican Party seems A-OK with a president, with a man that represents them and their party and their ideology, being gross and sexual about his own flesh and blood daughter. It's bad enough if it was like a stepkid, but it's his own blood. Donald Trump's quote-unquote naked sexism, including toward his own daughter, is described in a new book by Miles Taylor, the former Trump administration official who famously wrote a scathing op-ed about the former president under the pen name Anonymous. Taylor, a former chief of staff at the Department of Homeland Security, described several instances that made women in the Trump administration uncomfortable in his upcoming book, Blowback, a warning to save democracy from the next Trump, an extract of which was obtained exclusively by Newsweek. According to Taylor's book, the worst of the behavior was Trump's lewd comments about his own daughter. Aides said he talked about Ivanka Trump's breasts, her backside, and what it might be like to have sex with her, remarks that once led John Kelly to remind the president that Ivanka was his daughter, Taylor writes. Quote, afterward, Kelly retold the story to me in visible disgust. Trump, he said, was a very, very evil man. Trump's spokesperson has been contacted for comment. Kelly, who was the White House chief of staff from 2017 to 2019, has been contacted for comment as well. Taylor said he believes Trump remains unchanged as he leads the race for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination and fears a second Trump term could be far worse. He's a pervert. He's difficult to deal with, the source told Newsweek. This is still the same man, and incredibly, we're considering electing him to the presidency again. I have a daughter. I've got kids. I'm sure many, maybe most of you do too. Can you imagine, under any circumstances, saying something about the physical attributes of your daughter in a sexual manner? It boggles my mind. I'm going to play a brief clip here from CNN that I was going to find the individual clips, but this one's the best. And it really puts in perspective what we're talking about here and who we're talking about here and who the Republicans venerate. This is all on video. We have him talking about sex. If Ivanka wasn't my daughter, I would likely be dating her. We know what he means by that. He doesn't mean we're going to go to the ice cream social and have a malt at the fountain. He means sex. Let's not kid ourselves. We're adults. We know what is being referenced when you talk about dating someone. Watch this brief overview from CNN, and then I'm going to remind you what he said about Tiffany when she was a baby.
This Black Friday.
Yeah, he talks about her breasts being similar to her mother's when she was a baby.
Donald Trump has every right to be proud of his daughter. Ivanka is a successful, Ivy League-educated businesswoman, author, and mother. She's now helping run his campaign and introduced her father at the Republican convention. Yet at times, his fatherly praise is downright cringeworthy, like on The View in 2006.
I said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are sick.
Far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple times. On Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of ass. Yeah. She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous. She's tall. She's almost 6 feet tall.
In May, Ivanka described herself as a feminist while defending her father on CBS after a scathing New York Times article about his alleged negative treatment of women.
Is there unending commentary on the female form?
No. I've known my father obviously my whole life, and he has total respect for women.
Please welcome the lovely Ivanka Trump.
Still, even Ivanka seemed confused when talk show host Wendy Williams asked about things the two have in common.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
Donald Trump has always been proud of his daughter.
I call collect to his office. I was probably, 10 years old. He would pick up the phone every single time, and he'd put me on speakerphone. It wouldn't be a long conversation. He'd introduce me to whoever was in his office.
And he was front row when Ivanka took to the catwalk during her short-lived career as a fashion model. Still, Donald Trump repeatedly points out how hot his daughter is, saying last year in a Rolling Stone article, "Yeah, she's really something, and what a beauty, that one. If I weren't happily married and, her father."
My daughter, Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
Yeah, she's hot.
This is the man that Republicans worship. This is the man that they are heads and shoulders approving of to be the next president of the United States of America. The man they elected once before to lead our country. A man who sexualizes, who fantasizes about having sex with his own kid. But QAnon, save the children, right? It's all an act. It's all to score political points. Remember this moment from an interview with Robin Leach, the lifestyles of the rich and famous, talking about his baby daughter, Tiffany, and referencing, we'll see whether she's going to end up like her mother. Gross.
Back in 1994, host Robin Leach asked about their daughter Tiffany, who was then just a year old.
Now, Donald, what does Tiffany have of yours and what does Tiffany have of Marla's?
Well, I think that she's got a lot of moral, and she's really a beautiful baby, and she's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will tell.
I mean, what else needs to be said? This is who Republicans want. If they thought it was bad enough that with the things that he said about John McCain, I mean, if that didn't do it, if the comment about shooting somebody on Fifth Avenue didn't do it, if the comments about having sex with his own daughter, lusting after her, didn't do it, nothing's gonna do it. This is a sick and twisted element of America that is just bereft of decency. And their king, their unclothed emperor, is Donald Trump. What do you think? I'd love to know.
Oh, you know what I think? And you know why I think what I think? The guy's a sick pervert. I'll attach the link. Look at it. Pass it along. And thanks for listening.